So, Alex, I'll just dive right into it. And if you don't mind, can you just tell us about yourself? Name, hobby, age, whatever you're comfy with sharing.
Okay. So my name is Alexander Nee. I'm
Yeah.
13 years old. I enjoy reading and writing, like drawing and overall like thinking creatively and critically. Like I write poems, my spare time. I like to read a lot
Mhm.
of books. It's pretty much about it. I play the piano.
Yes. Awesome. So, where do you draw your inspiration? Which poet speaks to you?
Um, I really like poet like Robert Frost. I
Yes.
usually draw like inspiration from the world around me, like world issues. Um, in fact, the poem "The Raven" it was inspired by war, and like there's lots of ongoing war in the world, and there's books about war. I mainly draw inspiration, sorry, from books I read. If I find a book like this one right here. This
Mhm.
one, it's a Canadian
Okay.
book. So it's like about identity and stuff. So I usually
Awesome.
draw like inspiration from various authors. I don't like draw inspiration from just like one author or one poet. I like to draw inspiration from the world around me. Um, that's pretty much about it.
Awesome. So, you being the overall winner of the International Children's Art Stroke Poetry Contest, um, I just wanted to know, was this like your first audience, or have you gotten a chance to recite your poems to larger audiences?
This is like first time, yeah.
Oh, wow, you did
Yeah.
amazing. You did great. You did great for a first time, and I hope that you draw courage from that to do more and like try out other competitions and do stuff like that in school because you're good. Your
Thank you.
poem was amazing, and whatever you did with it was just so great. So, in your own opinion, what do you think most well-written poems have in common?
Um, well, I did a bit of poetry in seventh grade.
Yeah.
Um, it was like this unit on like studying poems, critiquing poems. And
Yeah.
in this poem by Robert Frost I did, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, I
Yeah.
found like there's lots of like allusions to something deeper. Like usually poems they have like something deeper within them.
Yes. And
Like
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. Yeah.
And in the poem by Robert Frost, the woods that are dark and deep, what from when I did it, I thought they were meeting temptation, like alluring sleep where people
Mhm.
fall into too much. I
Yeah.
often see like good poets use figurative language.
Mhm.
They have like lots of meaning behind even just one sentence.
True. That's awesome. And I wanted to ask, how important is it? Sorry, how important is accessibility of meaning? Just like you said, that some poets would love to use figurative language, but how, in your opinion, how important do you think it is for accessibility of meaning, and should it be so hard for people to interpret it or easy? What do you think?
I think that the meaning of a poem is really important because that is like the whole idea of a poem, right?
Yes.
Um, Lots of authors, their accessibility of it varies. Like
Okay.
some poems, the meaning isn't really clear. You have to dig really deep. Um, I don't think you need a really clear meaning. Like you, the poem doesn't need to be just something that you can easily recognize, whatever the meaning is.
Okay.
I think that like ruins the whole purpose of the poem
Okay.
because poems like are mysterious, right?
Okay.
And the poem, I like poems that are like simple, easy to solve. I find like is captivates the reader, captivates the
Yeah.
person who's reading the poem. But I don't think that poetry is meant to be like really easy to solve. Don't think it
Okay.
like you just read a poem and then you think, wow, oh, this is about this. You have to
Yeah,
dive deeper into the poem and find, oh, maybe it's also about this, and that.
that's true. Because, like, you should know how many times I listened to your poem. Um, and every time I listened to it, like, it just got me thinking more and more. But, um, like you said, I kind of got the meaning in the first time, but then it even got me thinking deeper as I listened to it more. And it wasn't just me, it was like it touched so many people. And man, you did good. Yeah,
Thank you.
you did really good. So, which of your which of your poems is your favorite? Like, and what was the purpose? Or like if you that's if you've written more than one.
Um, like I said, I write poems in spare time. I really
Yes.
like this poem that I called Stage.
Yes.
It's about like a person who has stage fright
Yes.
and is extremely frightened to perform in like a school play. And
Oh.
then the person's first word is timid, right?
Mm.
Like when you first come on stage, sometimes you're unsure about what you're gonna say. And then
Yeah.
as momentum builds and the play continues, in the poem, the person gets more confident and more
Yeah.
confident.
Would
And
you
then the
want to share
person
a little bit of that?
um let's see if I can pull it up.
Okay. Sorry for me just hijacking you like that.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
Stage. My hut's fluttering like huge butterflies, one so colorful and daring. Every single great huge one shows more or less hope in me, one by one. Or I am a silly snake, so fearful of its predators, since it wants to hide under a rock, so great and big towering like a shield for me from my predators. I'm full of anxiety, full of wonder, for how there's something called society. It's so great and powerful, it's an ego so great and prideful, outstanding like owls that sniped their sharp eyes at the mice in the corners and burrows. I wonder why I have to go on stage. I don't like this new civilization today. The lights flicker on like candles in the dark night. The cast steps up quiet, you can't hear a peep. Not one squeak from the shoes. I'm pale, sweaty. And I feel the butterflies growing bigger. My brain's about to implode outwards. The audience claps. There's like a roar of thundering waterfalls crashing onto stones. My first word yet, but an utter of desperation. I think I hear ghostly howls, like wolves at first sight of the full moon, howling in despitefulness. My butterflies are great now, as great as gigantic boulders weighing me down. I look down and everything starts to flow. I remember all the practice at home. The butterflies seem like they are dying. My stomach feels empty and rumbling. Rumbling with happiness, every sentence flows with great mighty delight. It is like I'm hungry even when I'm not. It's like a gush of happiness everywhere. I'm confident now I'm rocking around, uttering each word like music songs. This is amazing. I'm doing it. I love it. Like it's beauty, like it's the latest fashion. The audience claps. It's not lions roaring, but it's music full of passion. This great show so wonderful. I'm glad I was here. Let's buckle it all up together. Once stormy, now sunny, this place is full of wondrous, great, lovely weather.
Wow. Thank
I
you.
I think I wrote that last year.
Oh, wow. And I bet, to be honest, I feel like that is what so many kids feel like, even when they, like, when it comes to sharing their talent. And when they do it and realize it wasn't that, they're like, wow, yeah. So I bet a lot of people will relate with that.
Hmm.
It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And so Alexander, a person like you and with all that talent, I bet you love reading too, right?
Yeah.
What are your favorite books? What you
Favorite books
yeah, so far?
so far. I don't really think I have a favorite book. I've read too many.
Oh yeah.
Um, I remember reading Percy Jackson: The Olympians by Rick Riordan. That
Mhm.
was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Um, right now I'm reading this book called Living Joy
Okay. Okay.
by Chris Stefanik.
Okay.
Um, and of course I showed you this one.
Yes.
Haven't finished that one yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like reading like all different types of genres.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I
some
think
more
that's cool.
others. Sorry?
I think that's cool, like being open to all different kinds because then you're not limiting yourself. Yeah.
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 Okay. And from poetry or your other talents so far, what have you been able to achieve?
Um, I do like critiquing poems. Like
Yeah.
I said in seventh grade, I did like some critiquing in
Yeah.
poems, right?
Yes.
Um, I really like critiquing poems by famous poets like Langston Hughes, Robert Frost, Edgar Allan Poe. Um, yeah, that's pretty much about it. I don't. It's pretty much like the greatest achievements in poetry so far.
Awesome. And you forgetting one, you were the overall winner.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. So have you tried or thought about monetizing your work, or are you just putting it out there and going like, I just want the world to hear my voice and that's it?
Not really. I
Okay.
haven't tried monetizing work or haven't thought
Okay.
about that before.
Yeah, because that's another way to just keep your work going and come up with a book and compile all those poems that you have put in there. You could have it on Amazon or whatever platform you're comfy with. And that would be a good way to get your name out there and your beautiful poems. Yeah. Yeah. And so lastly, Alexander, what advice would you give to kids out there that um, have talent like you do and on probably advice on how to use it or whatever's in your mind?
Um, right. I hope like other children, other teenagers of
Yes.
all ages, like they continue to be inspired.
Yeah.
Right? Because schools, they're really cool. They teach a lot of stuff you'll need in life, but
Yes.
sometimes they don't always teach like how to inspire yourself, how to imagine, right? Because like to make a poem, you have to be inspired. You have to have the imagination to
That's true.
create something. Like that's in like newspapers and in books, in literature. It's you have to be inspired. Like Romeo and Juliet, for example. The
Yeah,
author was inspired to create the play.
that's true. Awesome. Thank you so, so much. And I pray that you continue um, with developing your talent and getting it out there, inspiring more people. And it can be through your poems or something else, but I just don't want you to ever give up because you're good and you could change so much with just that one talent. So thank you for so much for your
Thank you.
time, and
Thank
we
you.
hope to see you again this year because the details of the contest will be out soon, and you're always welcome to compete again.